off the cuff. Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff. Walking by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Yeah, I see y'all.
Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
And the truth of the
We
matter
walking
is,
by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Isaiah trying to have us on here all night.
We can't glaze over that though. We can. Oh my goodness.
What's going on? What's going on?
Get your ride.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Get your ride on.
Hey, it's your boy Zaya, also known as Zaya. I switched it up a little for y'all. What's going on, y'all?
Will Parker Jr. is in the house.
Hey, I see all lights on your shades. This is Pastor Roman D, and your boys are off the cuff.
What's
Hey, don't
up?
tell me what's gonna happen tonight. I feel something weird gonna happen tonight.
Hey, listen, man. I'm through the streets, man. Hey, Will got the beat rocking for me. I hear the beat, man. Shout out to Will for the beat on it. You know what I'm saying? What it do, fellas? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's up, fellas? D.W.B's driving while black. I see you, baby.
Hey.
D.W.B. With the shades on, you want to get pulled over.
It's nighttime too.
Hey.
You a go. I'm not riding with you. Let me out right now. This is not gonna end there.
Oh,
With the
man.
sunnies on.
Hey, come on, man. Listen, I'm doing the speed limit, though. I'm doing the speed limit, all right? Oh, praise God, man. Listen, fellas, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? How y'all
Good,
doing,
fellas,
man?
what it do, what it be like, fellas, what it is.
It's
Enjoying
good.
this good life, baby. Enjoying this good life. Glad to be with my brothers.
I am too, man. This is so exciting, man. I called Will earlier, man. Like, man, bro, we did a podcast. Was it last year? This year, called "Faith Changes Everything." Will gave his testimony, but there's also something else that happened in October on the 26th of this month. Pastor Roman D had the Abandoned series. What it do, baby?
Oh,
Hey.
That commercial was nice. Shout out to my brothers. I had the vision, and they helped me make it come to pass. That
Hey.
series was fire, boy.
Boy, that oh my
series was
God.
fire.
Hey,
Hey, if you didn't see it, go back on YouTube, The Alive Church KC, and watch that series. That one, boy, that was one for the ages.
hey,
Got the commercial here at the crib. We was kicking it.
man, boy, that was like,
Yeah.
man, that was, boy, Pastor Roman D got his sexy on, had on his hood and everything, you know what I'm
I
saying?
got my Denzel on,
He
boy.
got his Denzel on, bro.
Acting, try to be serious, smiling.
Oh, man, boy, but that was awesome, man. Yeah, so this month has been crazy big for us, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Within a year, man, so many awesome things has happened. So, man, yeah, man, this is it's an awesome month. Awesome month.
Hey, we might have to do a year in review. We may have to do a year in review.
You
Off
right.
the cuff year in review.
Man.
I had to say it.
Ooh, I like that, Pastor
I do
Roman
too.
D. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
And put together all the ones that we did with our shows. That'll be tight, man. You know what I'm saying?
Classics, yeah.
Man,
Man.
we got Purpose.
How many have we
got
done?
with the wise. Can your friend? Can your wife-
30 something, man.
Hey,
We're in the
Man.
30s.
in it. We
Dude, this is
deep in these
amazing.
streets.
So we've been it's been a whole year, hasn't or is it
Nah,
gonna
not
be
yet.
Not yet. Okay, all right.
Because I
Man,
think we started March, right?
it was March. Dang, that's that's the good thing about Facebook. They remind you what year it is. If I don't write it
Yeah.
down, like Facebook is like
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so hey, this month is huge, man. So I'm looking forward to, you know, what's coming up in the next year. Pastor Roman D, before we get started though, he's in a Brave series. You still rocking with the Brave series?
Oh yeah, man. I don't know how long we're gonna be there. We might finish the year with that because I'm gonna do some couple other things. We're gonna get into prayer. We're gonna get into worship. But right now, this coming up Sunday, boy, we're gonna be doing the fight of my life. So by the time you hear this, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
You The Alive Church KC, the fight of my life. Fight of
on.
my life, baby.
Yeah.
Fight is one during preparation.
Oh yeah. Hey,
yeah.
hey, I was excited. We did no cap this past Sunday.
Yeah,
no
that was
cap.
good, bro. I seen it.
I like how you do your the trailers for the Alive actual presentation, bro, for what you're getting ready to share in the message, bro. That's big. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that, man. And also, listen, I'm in. I just completed.
You just
week
wrapped
6.
up beast mode, baby.
Just completed it, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I seen you.
Hey,
I
you
seen
seen
you,
it?
Zay
Okay,
Beats.
praise God, man. We talking about comfort and trials, man. So that was big. I
Yeah.
was excited about that, man. So we finished it up. It was 6 weeks strong. You know, truth be told, when I went into it, I didn't realize that I was gonna be. I honestly didn't realize, man, that I knew I was gonna finish it, but I spoke too soon. But then at the same time, God gave me grace to finish it out, so it was dope, man. So we finished the week 6. But it's crazy. I wanted to talk about this coming series. I want to talk about sex, and what I'm saying, get some scriptures from the Word, and just go into it, just talking about just sex, man, and not being ashamed to speak on it. So that's something I'm looking forward to doing. Hopefully next month, just depending on how God does it. I don't know. But
That's a good topic on Off the Cuff, bro.
sex,
Oh, yeah.
like that's a really good thing to talk about. Like, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because sex
Yeah.
is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, sex
Yeah.
is fire if you're married. You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
when you do it God's way.
Come
It's
on,
even
bro.
better. Even better. No
Hey.
guilt, no shame,
Hey,
freedom.
come on, man.
Freedom, baby.
Praise God, man.
For real.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So that's good news, man. There, man. I'm telling you. But listen, all those that's rocking with us. Before we get another piece, before we get into it, don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Come on there and check us out. And, what I'm saying, hit the notification bell. So, when we upload these and, start rocking, so that way we can get traffic going through our channel there. So come check us out, Off the Cuff TV on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
But listen, we got something exciting we want to talk about today. Man, Will, what is this D.W.B, bro? What is D.W.B?
Hey, man, listen, we kicking this off today talking about driving while black. Driving while black. So I think this is going to be a very, very exciting topic because this is something that's been going on since the beginning of time. It's really always a relevant topic because it's always people of color getting pulled over and their rights are being disrespected. So here's what I want to do today, Zay Beats. Last week, I threw the rock to Pastor Roman D. I'm gonna pass it back to you because you got a recent testimony on the cops kind of rolling up on you. So I want you to tell that again for the people that didn't hear it, and then we'll kind of start our conversation off there, bro.
Yeah, so man, you know what I'm saying? It was like, man, what was it about last month? I'm at work. First, let me say this. I'm excited. I just got this new job, and you know what I'm saying? Been working it, been learning so much. And I really felt like, like safe at the job, you know what I'm saying? But just over the last month, bro, you know what I'm saying, some crazy stuff happened, bro. I'm at my job, late at night, it's about 12. It's in between the hours of 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just working. But I remember, man, I'm in the truck, hazard lights on, got my cones out, Spectrum written on. Oh, dang. Did I say where I work at? We might have to
Yeah,
bleep
there
that
you
out. I'm sorry. Did I say where I work? Don't y'all be trying to hit us up on the off the cuff saying we need some cable services, man. My wife say Spectrum is not good at all. So, you know what I'm saying? She say the internet services is scandalous. That's why I rock with AT&T too. But listen, so anyway though, man, so I'm in the truck, man, and just posted, man. And, I was doing something on the computer, doing something, man. All I know is that I heard this knock on the window. So I'm like, yo, it's at nighttime. I'm tripping, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on? So I look to my right, and it's a police officer. And what he said was, which is crazy, he said, so I rolled my window down. He said, hey, we got a call in this area saying that there was somebody, walking around, knocking on doors, asking people for Spectrum services. And I'm like, yo, like, kindly, reported to the officer. Like I said, listen, well, that's not my job description. That's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't even go to doors. I just go around to poles, and I'm up in the air, looking at stuff up there and all of that good stuff. And, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, yeah, he said, well, we just been getting calls and it's been aggressive. And as he's talking to me, I'm just, it's a habit. I'm always rubbing my knee. I don't know if it's You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm rubbing my knee like, you know,
Be still.
it's a habit. It's a habit. You know what I'm saying? He said, be still. Hey, I'm telling you. But so I'm rubbing my knee and I didn't notice, y'all. Like, so I looked to the exactly, right? So I'm rubbing my knee and all of a sudden a light flashes from the right side. And I look over, it's another police officer. So I instantly threw my hands up. And the reason I was like, you know, because it's just, you know, everything that we see and like, you know what I'm saying? It's so that's a habit. You know, if I'm seeing some lights from some police officers, the first thing I'm doing is like, listen, my hands is up. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize it at the time that it was another police officer there. And then let me say this. There's another police officer behind my truck. So it's 3 police officers surrounding a Spectrum truck with hazard lights on, and my cones are out. But this is the crazy part as we move into this D.W.B, you know, or just P.W.B, parked while black. But you know what I'm saying? Like but yeah, so like the crazy part about that is that he was telling me that you know, I just really felt that, you know, personally that, you know, I'm working, I'm doing my job, and, you know, just kind of just felt uncomfortable about the situation. You know, even now, like I'm out working, just feeling uncomfortable knowing that, you know, you could be doing your job working and, you know, you get, you know, that type of a treatment. And I personally felt like, and I don't like to go here, but I just felt like it could have been harassment because this is the crazy part. They did not flash their lights. They just crept up on me and knocked on the window. Now, what if I was somebody who was a real crazy and just like start moving crazy? You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what really, you know, really just made me so uncomfortable. Like, why you didn't flash your lights or turn on your big bright light? You know what I mean? He just crept up on me. So, but yeah, that's what happened. So I just felt like that was, you know, that part I thought was the harassing part, you know, by not, you know, notifying me that you're coming close, especially if I'm in a work vehicle. I could, you know, so, but I don't know what y'all think about that, man. Like, you know?
Man, Z.W.B, I think that's good, man. I think that's a good way to start the show because we're talking about you was at work, you're in the work truck, and the police didn't give you no indication that they was behind you. And that's dangerous, not only for you, but for them.
Yeah.
And I think this is happening all the time with us just driving. We're getting pulled over. And don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the folks that are speeding or doing something crazy to get pulled over. I'm talking about folks that are getting pulled over that ain't doing anything. Pastor Roman D's on here with me. Yeah. And I'll say this particular one year me and him was driving and I was in my Charger. I had a Charger at the time and I had my window down. And I wasn't speeding. And everybody know that drive with me, Will Parker Jr. got a heavy foot. But this particular time, Z.W.B, I wasn't even speeding, man. And I looked across when he passed me, and I said, "Dang!" And Roman was like, "What?" I said, "Man, he gonna pull us over," because he looked at me dead in my face, man. And so Z.W.B's where we was, he speeded up the rampway, turned around, and came right behind me and pulled me and Roman D over. And I knew he was. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I had my window down. And it wasn't even down all the way.
That's crazy.
And I told Pastor Roman D, I said, man, we're going to get pulled over. And sure enough, he pulled us over for nothing.
You know
what I'm saying? Now it didn't go sideways or anything like that, but it's just the principle that we got pulled over and we wasn't doing anything. And I think this is happening all the time. And as we go deeper in this conversation and start pointing out things, and I think giving people some nuggets, I think that's just wrong, man. And these are the things that have to stop. Now, if you're doing something illegal, or if your tags are expired, or if you ain't got the right sticker on, or I get it. Probable cause. Yeah. But don't pull me over because you look at me and I'm a black man. Yeah. That's just wrong.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and this was the crazy thing, a part of that story. The first question he asked when he came up, is this your car?
What?
That's crazy, man.
Why would you ask that question? I couldn't you say license, registration, or something like that. But you ask, is this your car? So it made you saw a black man driving a nice car, and the first question you ask, is this your car?
Man.
Why does that shouldn't even be involved? Now I understand if you ask for proof of insurance and I didn't have nothing, then you go there. But the first question to be, and that's the type of things that people talk about, because me personally, even though I was with him, it didn't happen to me personally, but I experienced it happen to him. And this is where we have to come together as a people, because so many times I was listening to Lil Wayne one time, and he was talking about Aaron. He said, I don't know nothing about racism. Racism don't exist to me. And he went through his experience. A police officer saved him, and that is wonderful. That is great. That is your experience. But you cannot say, because I personally have not experienced something, it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Especially when you get so many cases that it is happening, and we just have to do better. We have to do better, and then we have to be able to find some way to hold police accountable, because so many things happen like this where they get off, or they don't, there's nothing that happened to them, or if they are fired, they are hired in another district a week or two later. And so this is just something where police have to do what they are hired to do, and that's it, to protect and to serve, not harass, not to pull you over just because of the color of your skin, or they feel like you're driving too nice of a car. And so I think this is something that needs to be talked about. We need to do our part as a people, but in the same token, I shouldn't be, or no one should be lumped in a group simply because of the way they look.
That's good, bro.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy too, man. Like, just thinking about that, man. Like, you out driving, you minding your business, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know what I mean, trying to go somewhere, you know what I mean, and then, getting pulled over, just because, and I think that, like, our society today, you know what I'm saying, thinking about, just police officers in general, anytime I see a cop, though, just my first thing is, sit up straight, make sure I'm doing the speed limit, and I think it's good in that way, because it kind of keeps us focused. But then, like you said, Pastor Roman D, like, there's all of these instances, things that happen that shouldn't even be taking place, you know what I'm saying, just getting pulled over just cause, or, if you got a nice car, or if you like, we started off the podcast, having fun, joking, but, even having on sunglasses, driving with a hat, like, I just think that, for those purposes, getting pulled over is not good. I get if I'm speeding, or, I get that, you know what I mean? But the cases nowadays are just people getting pulled over just cause is just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, like, ultimately, like you said, Pastor Roman D, that statement, I remember Lil Wayne had said that as well. He talked about, because of his experience and how the police officer had saved him. And, you know what I'm saying, he that one moment, I guess, I define, police moving forward from that day, and I understand, that moment, but, just so far as the reality of the things that's happening, it's kind of like, man, there's still people that are, being mistreated, there's still people that are, getting murdered, still people that, you know what I'm saying, are getting harassed. I mean, there's a whole lot of things dealing with that. So, but it's sad too, because, like, even I was talking about the other day, I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about just how that there's a group of those that are, for example, there's a group of Christians that are preaching something that's not right, and then because they're not preaching something that's not right, it affects everything else. So people's perception of Christianity, or Christians in general, because of something someone did, they look at it like, okay, wow, these people are all like this because they did this situation. And, so like Will said, it's not necessarily that, we're bashing, you know what I'm saying, police officers. It's just the reality of the things that are happening, that we see that are affecting, you know what I mean, how we are approaching situations now. And I think for me personally, after that experience, man, like you approach situations differently, you know what I'm saying? Like, not going into it like saying everything is bad, but at the same time, going into it knowing that, okay, there's a possibility that this could happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got a question I want to say, bro. Do you think that, and it's kind of like this for me, but do you think that stops people from being authentically themselves? D.W.B, driving while black, you know what I'm saying? Wanting to put on their shades, you know what I'm saying? Wanting to blast their music. I mean, you know what I'm saying? What you think, Will?
Man, first of all, give yourself something, Zebbeats.
Hey, come on, man. Come on.
Got you. Hold it down.
Hey, that's what's up, bro.
Bro, you know what? I don't think it keeps people from being themselves. I think unfortunately, I think people get a little more ignorant and stupid about it. I think they start showing their behind a little bit, man. Because as soon as a cop, okay, think about this. You have personal experiences, right? But then you have this happening all on social media, people showing you times other black people got pulled over, and they're showing you black people that got pulled over, that got killed. They're showing you black people that got pulled over, that got beat to the ground. They're showing you, so you got all these different images in your mind already. So I think what happens is, I don't think it stops you from being yourself. I think it makes you go on the defensive side. So I think soon you get pulled over, you have an attitude.
Wow,
which is not the right thing to, it's not the right thing to do, or you shouldn't be like that. But I think that's just the culture and the nature of the situation with the cops. You just have an attitude because you like, I know I wasn't doing nothing. I know I wasn't speeding. My tag's up to date. Why is this dude pulling me over? So immediately I think you go on the defensive side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's not good for us. And we got to figure out, and we'll probably talk about that more the second half, but we got to figure out ways to deal with that, because soon we go on the defensive side, the situation gets ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And bro, I've been pulled over so many times. Yeah, bro, I got pulled over in my Charger again. I was in Independence, bro, and I got pulled over. And again, had my windows cracked just a little bit. I said, I just stopped rolling down my window. And this cop looked at me, not on my side, not in the side of my window, but he seen me coming. He was coming this way. I was coming this way. He looked at me dead in my eyes. Wasn't speeding. Whoop, whoop. Turned around, pulled me over. Once again,
dang, bro.
Asked me the same question, Roman D. He said, and this is what, when you know they're on something. Is this your car? And I just shook my head like, yes, officer, it's my car. He said, well, the reason I pulled you over, check this out, Zebbeats. He said, the reason I pulled you over, because it looks like your tint is not standard. It look like you're breaking the law with your tint in your car. Now, bro, while we're sitting here, I'm pulled over on the side of the road. 6 cars don't pass me with tint blacker than my tires. Okay? 6 cars.
Crazy, bro.
All Caucasian folks, blacker than my tires. Now, when I got my windows tinted, bro, the guy asked me, he said, oh, you want it a little darker? I said, no. I said, hey, man, I need it legal. I said, I need it legal for the state of Missouri because of that situation. I said, I don't want, I said, it be just my luck. I get pulled over because of this. And sure enough, he pulled me over. He went back to his car, bought the tint gun, bro, and scanned my window.
Wow, dog.
Now, I bust his cakes because I was legit. I was legit. Now, bro, that could have went somewhere different if I would have been on the defensive side.
Yeah,
because most people jump on the defensive side, be like, see, why are you pulling me over? My tip, and bro, they go through 1,000 and I let it go. But bro, stuff like that is the reason I think so. So to answer your question, I think we're on more of the defensive side because of stuff like that and what we see on a daily basis.
That's good.
Yeah,
bro.
that's good right there. Because here, and I believe we talked about this on another show, anger, I believe, because when you get on the defensive, anger is right there.
Yes.
Anger is right there. And the slightest extra thing that you feel like you're being slighted, now you're in a full-blown argument with somebody who has a gun and they carrying it legally. I don't think sometimes, I think sometimes we get so emotional, so in anger because we feel like we're being picked on and we're being picked out. But that's where you got to calm down. You can't allow your emotions, because I've heard you say this, Will, the whole point is to make it home.
Yep.
And you can't do that. You put yourself in grave danger. You put yourself in grave danger when you allow your emotions to get the best of you, that you get so much on the defensive end that you're just going, and now you're going harder and harder and harder. And now that person feels threatened. Now let us just say this. We understand that police officers have a very, very, very difficult job.
They do.
They're putting their lives on the line every single day they put their uniform on. And so we have to make sure we say that. We have to make sure we put that out. But in the same token, my life is on the line too.
Yeah.
Because in this talk, I don't have a gun. The experience that you had with other people has nothing to do with me at that moment.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a gun, I don't have a knife, I don't have pepper spray, I don't have anything. And so especially if you like me, you don't got anything like that in your car, and you get in a situation, it's not a very good it's very likely that you're not going to win that battle.
Yeah.
You're not going to win that battle. And so it's important that we understand that we take time, even if you got to take a deep breath, calm yourself down. Officer, yes, sir. No, ma'am. Things that you got to be respectful so that way you can make it home.
Yeah. I like
Real
that.
talk.
I like that. I like that. Yo, y'all brought Will, you brought something up that I want to kind of go back into a little bit when you talked about just the ignorance dealing with, you know what I'm saying, that you know how, you know, people approach the situation. You know, Pastor Roman, you was deep in that as well as you were speaking, and I think that is a big one too. Like, cause for example, you see somebody get stopped, and the first thing that they do, pull out their phone. Now this can go both ways, you know what I'm saying, and not taking either side, but just the reality of it. You know, I think that creates, like you said, Pastor Roman D, it creates it builds a momentum to be more angry, or to be more like, oh, you think I'm getting ready to do something wrong, or, you know what I'm saying, you think that, you know, and so just that emotion starts to get out of whack. I think that is a big thing I've been seeing too. Like, you know, some cases, and I don't know the situation in particular, right? Like, I don't know what happened before the camera came on, but I do know, like, just what, like, I'm seeing, like, you know, if someone turns the camera on and then they're, you know, addressing the situation in a violent manner, you know, with the words, or, you know, how we position our words, like, yeah, what you stopped me for, you know, or something like that, instead of, hey, you know, officer, is everything okay? I think that is something that's important to always be mindful of, because, like, you know, Will's saying that, you know, just to make it home is the goal, and sometimes just to make it home, you gotta bite the other end. You know what I'm saying? You gotta crush the pride and kill it. You know what I'm saying? Of whatever it is. You know, and that deals. It is difficult, because you have to learn how to be able to be in situations where you could possibly be mistreated, right? But at the same time, you have to handle yourself in a manner just to make it home, just to create that atmosphere. And I personally believe that, you know what I'm saying, you can diffuse a situation with how you handle it, you know, by being nice and courteous, even if that other person's being mean. Because there's a scripture, I forgot what the scripture says, but what does it say? Like, you, if when you argue, like, if two can't argue, what's that scripture? Like, basically, like, if a person's arguing, if you're kind and nice, it won't escalate. I forgot how that scripture goes.
Like something like a soft answer turns away wrath, or something like that.
There we go.
A gentle answer.
Yo, a gentle answer turns away wrath. And I think that in many of the cases that I've seen, I think that could have been, you know, something that could have helped solved it. You know what I'm saying? So I think on both ways, like, because this conversation is so powerful. It's not just driving while black and police officers are doing wrong things. It's a two-way street. There could be people that are doing wrong things as the police officer stops them and how they speak and stuff like that too. So I just wanted those that's listening to know, like, it's not a bash the police officer moment or a bash the, but ultimately that's I think it's ultimately like ignorance, in that area too as well. Not ignorance like you don't know anything, but ignorance so far as how to handle the situation in a way that brings to make it home, that brings peace. You know what I'm saying? So I think that ignorance is big, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, let's take a commercial break.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
And listen, it's so amazing to know that the work that we are doing, when we are building something good for God, right? It's necessary to understand that what we are doing for God, it matters. And the reason I bring this point up is because there are things that we are doing in the kingdom right now that seem insignificant. It doesn't even matter. You know what's so amazing to me? Just today, somebody liked a post that I sent out a year ago. And the Lord spoke to my heart and was telling me that anything you do for me, it means something. You just never know. Like 10 years down the road, somebody's going to come across something that you did on social media, for God. And he's going to use that for his glory to touch somebody, to speak to somebody, to influence somebody. What you do for Jesus matters. Listen, the work that you are doing for Jesus.
Join me every Wednesday night on YouTube for another powerful In the Word message. Most definitely.
What's up, good people? Will Parker Jr. here. Listen, people ask me all the time, what is faith changes everything? Well, faith literally changed everything for me. It literally saved my life. There was a time when the doctor said, it's over for you. Cancer will beat you. But faith said something else. So go to my website, grab my book, FV1, The Foundations of Faith, and I guarantee it will change everything for you. Peace.
There are so many people who have flatlined, people who have given up, people who have thrown in the towel, people who feel like their struggle is so great that they might as well not even try anymore. They're struggling with marriage issues. They're struggling with mind issues. They're struggling with money issues. They're struggling with maturity issues and have just given up on life, given up on church, given up on God. Alive Church is here to let others know that you no longer have to be flatline. You no longer have to walk in just giving up and not trying, just existing, but you can come alive in Christ. Jesus cares about your marriage. He cares about your mind. He cares about your money. He cares about your maturity issues. But before you can receive it, you have to come alive in Christ and know what God has promised you. It starts by joining Alive Church, 10 a.m. on YouTube, The Alive Church KC. Are you ready to come alive?
Hey, so we back. Now see, I just went to the store. I had to go get me something.
He's driving.
I had to go get me something from the store, man.
He's striding. He's surviving.
Hey, listen.
He's gliding, not biding. He's tithing.
Hey, okay, I'll be over there later. All right. Hey, what's up, man? I love you, man. Hey, I'll be over there later, all right? Okay.
Biden. He's diving.
Praise God.
Better start hiding.
Oh, man. Praise God, man. We back in the building, man. Off the cuff, man. Your favorite boys are in the building, man. And excited, man. This conversation has been on 100,000, 50,000 million, man. We've been talking about some excellent things. Before we left on the break, we was just talking about, of course, D.W.B, man. Will, man, let us know, bro, man. What we been on, man? What's been going down, man?
So we talking about driving while being black. Again, I want to preface the comments by saying this. we have nothing against the police. We like the police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We glad that we have police doing their job, but unfortunately, we have a lot of police that's not doing their job. So then we have a lot of black people like ourselves that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then we have a lot of us that's not doing what we're supposed to be doing. So again, either way, we just want to make sure this conversation is fair, but the facts is the facts.
Yeah.
We are getting pulled over. A lot of people are not making it home. So this half, y'all, I want to concentrate on talking about how do we make it home? What are some nuggets that we can give the people? What are some strategies that we can get some of the young ladies that have young boys and their dad's not in their life? Because we know being a man is a little bit different from even being a woman. But what are some tips, Pastor Roman D. Zaya Beats, that we can start giving the people? How do we make it home? When the cops pull you over, and here's the scenario: you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, you're not doing nothing wrong, and they pull you over because you're black. How do we get home? Because we understand and we know people are upset, people are angry because of social media, what they've seen cops, the crooked cops do. How do we make it home?
One of the things I would say is remain calm. Whatever the situation, remain calm. Because once again, as we said earlier, if you get in your emotions, if you get angry, then it's a great possibility that it could escalate to a point that you don't want it to. So make sure you stay calm. If you're going to make any movements, you say, hey, you told me to get my driver's license or my insurance card. It's in the glove box right over there. So I'm about to go get it for you. You don't make any sudden moves because we don't want to give anybody no excuse to holler gun or anything like that. So I think those are two big things. You got to remain calm so that way you can think clearly, and then you just let them know, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm moving now. I'm not grabbing a gun. I'm going to do what you told me to do.
It's good, bro.
I like
good.
that. Man, I think a couple of other ones will be, make sure you answer every question. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not answering that. You have no right to pull me over. Just answer it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you know you didn't do nothing wrong, even if, you know what I'm saying, you were P.W.B, Park While Black. You know what I'm saying? Just seriously, boys, it's crazy, man. So I would say, like, make sure, you answer every question thoroughly. Be respectful, man. Be nice. Be kind. I think that's important, too, because, like Will said something that was big, and I think we're all saying the same thing. All police officers, we respect them. You know what I'm saying? We know that they have a tough job. So by being respectful, being nice, being kind, helps them to see those who are doing their job that are out there putting their life on the line to serve and to protect. That's the right way, right? To serve and to protect. They are, they'll respond to somebody that most definitely is being nice and kind. It's just something that's a connection that happens. People know when you're being nice, and people can feel when it's escalating to a different place. And I think, a decent person, you know what I'm saying, can be like, okay, they're being respectful, they're being nice. So it kind of like drops that barrier of frustration, you know what I'm saying, that can happen because, you know what I'm saying, of all that police officers experience and all that black men and black women experience in those situations. I think that it's an exchange on both sides, being kind, answering each question, and that most definitely is two big ones that I think is big as well.
Yeah.
Well, what you think, bro?
Just to add on to what y'all saying, I think one of the first things that you need to do is when they pull you over and they come to your car, you already need to be in a position.
Okay. All right.
Hands on steering wheel. Let them see that your hands are visual. Make sure they're in front of you, because you don't need to be scratching your knee Or like Zaya Beats.
Boy, hey,
You're
they flash that
asking
like
for
quick.
trouble.
Boy,
don't
let
be
it itch.
scratching your knee.
Let it itch.
Hey, let that mug itch. hey, for real, man.
Oh,
Make sure you are in the right position out the gate.
That's good.
Put your hands on that steering wheel. So I think to add on to what both of y'all said, let's start off right.
Yeah.
Make sure your hands are in a visual position so they can see immediately where your hands are, and then I think you start flowing to what you guys said. So answering the questions respectfully. Pastor Roman D said, let them know what you're about to make when you're making moves. Hey, my driving license is in my glove box, so I need to get in my glove box. Is it okay for me to move my hands? I think all the things y'all said go right into play, but make sure they can see you out the gate.
Yeah.
Because while you was talking, Zaya Beats, I looked up something. The average police salary in the United States is $35,000 to $67,000. So you're talking about some of these guys ain't even making that much money, and they're working a very, very dangerous job. You know what I'm saying? So Zaya Beats, you said it. They should be serving and protecting, but they're also on the offensive end as well.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure this is the time we have to tuck our pride and stay humble and say, okay, I'm ticked off right now because I know good and well I wasn't doing anything, but I need to follow protocol so I can make it home. There's no need to get shot because you want to get smart with somebody.
Yeah.
There's no need to get shot because you're not being compliant. You know what I'm saying? I seen this video, y'all, and man, I wish I would have pulled it up so we could have played some of it. But this young lady, man, she was so ticked off at this officer because he pulled her over because he said she didn't have a license plate in the front of her car. So she was driving an old school. She said, I know my license plate is on my car. He said, ma'am, no, it's not. He said, I just went up there and looked at it. It's not on your car. He said, it is on my car. She said, I know my license plate just ain't fall off. So, excuse me. So anyway, to fast forward towards the end of the video, all through the video, she was so disrespectful. Her son was in the car. He was recording it. She was loud. She was ticked off, and it escalated. He called him back up. He was telling her, hey, you're going to have to step out the car because you're being, she was really rowdy. He did a good job of not turning up and going where he could have went. He could have went to a place too. But he did make a mistake, and he did this. He said, oh, now you about to shoot me? And I said, oh, Lord. But to make a long story short, he walked back up to the front of the car, but he walked all the way up. And on this particular model, and I can't remember what kind of car it was, but the license plates wasn't in the center. It was all the way to the right side of the car.
Dang. Oh.
So when he walked up there, he didn't walk up further enough. He didn't see it in the middle. When he seen her coming, he looked in the middle. He didn't see it was off to the right side. So she was actually right the whole time, but though her demeanor made it seem like she was wrong the whole time.
Wow.
And he apologized. He said, I'm sorry. She said, I know it's an old school. It's on the right. But she never said that in the very beginning of the conversation because she was already in a mental mentality that he shouldn't have never pulled me over.
That's good.
So you got to make sure you follow the proper protocols and do what's right so you can make it home. Man.
I like that.
And
I like that.
some people may be saying, well, I think you're letting the people off the hook. But here's the thing. Who's been trained? Let's be honest. A police officer is supposed to have been through the academy and through hours of training on even how to deal with certain type of, with all type of people. So you got a person who's trained, and then you got a person who's untrained. You expect the person who's been trained to be more disciplined,
Yes,
to be able to know how to de-escalate the situation.
good.
But it seems as if police officers in certain situations are not doing that. You know, here's the crazy thing. I seen people be on the news where a gunman having a shootout with the police officers, and they bring him in alive. And then you see a person who's unarmed with no weapon, and they lose their life. That's where the outrage is coming from. We're seeing different standards. We're seeing people who are trained, who are using their training in certain situations, and many times it looks like they're deciding on based on how the person looks, or based on the information they feel like they can get from that person to do whatever they feel like they need to do. And so that's why we hold police officers to a higher standard. They done went through the training. They've been on the job, whether they just started the job or not. They still been through the training. You know, and so since they got this training, they should be held to a higher standard. This is how I look at it. But think about this. Think about this. Police officers go through training. Pilots go through a training. A pilot can't crash 3 or 4 times and talk about, hey, I'm just human.
that's true.
Hey, I'm just human. You know, I make mistakes. I get in my feelings. I got things I go through in my daily life. No, they don't give them that. If that pilot crashed one time, hey, watch this. If that pilot crashed one time and they got alcohol in his breath, they be like, well, you know, we got a union and this. No, they get rid of that joker. Why? Because there is a standard.
I like that.
And in the same standard, we got that high standard for our pilots. Why don't we have that high standard for our police officers?
True.
Listen, I'm gonna follow through with
That's
that
facts.
because you know what, I want to kind of like, I want to, you know, continue in that same vein. When you think about a pilot, you know, his responsibility is to navigate that plane, right? And he's supposed to deal with any type of condition, whether it's rain, whether it's sleet, whether it's snow, whether it's thunder. Under those type of conditions, he's been trained to know how to work. And I agree, Pastor Roman D. I think that with that mentality and, you know, being in that type of field and going through that type of training, that training is something that, you know, has to be really honored. You know what I'm saying? Like for police officers, I think because, you know what I'm saying, that's something that, you know, you have to operate under those rainy conditions. You have to operate underneath those windy conditions. You have to operate under those sleet, snow. You know, you got to be protected. You got to have your boots on when it snows. You got to have your umbrella when it rains. I think that's so big. Like that training is there for a purpose and for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so I agree totally 100% with that. And I was also thinking when Will was speaking, something that was crossing my mind, how we laid out certain things that we could do in those situations to be careful, like things that people can do. I think that, you know, we have to have some type of written something that we do consistently as well, being in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's written like, okay, put your hands on the wheel as soon as they come up, you know, so that way it's something that is a repetitious type thing. So, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to get to the place to where, you know what I'm saying, why you stop me, why you do this. Even if that's the case, we still have to have that proper training as people, I think, too, because I think a lot of the killings has taken place. Like, we raising some really good stuff because some killings have been senseless, reaching for your ID. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not raising your window down, or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, things like that, you know, so I think as well, like, you know, that's something that's necessary and important. And I would most definitely say this, like, learn to tame the beast of anger. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he's ferocious. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that those are some things that, like, I was getting as we was conversating. You know what I'm saying? That's very important on both ends. You know what I'm saying? We have to be held accountable. But I totally agree with you, Pastor Roman D. To whom much is given, much is required. And as a police officer with a gun, that's like you said, that's being a pilot. Because, excuse me, because you got to think about that. Like, you're responsible for that plane and the safety for those people that are on the plane. That was
Yeah.
a great way to, you know what I'm saying, bring that into context. You know what I'm saying? Praise God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Zayabis, I want to lay into something that you just said before I go back to what Pastor Roman D said as well. You brought up a good point to the people out there. We're not saying because you do all these things that some people still might not lose their life, because we know that ain't that ain't the truth.
Right, bro.
We just trying to make sure you have to do these things will give you a higher percentage of a chance to make it home. Because like you said, there, we've seen situations where people did everything right and they still didn't make it home. You know, but to piggyback off that, Pastor Roman D, you said something about complete police training. Now, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have my CCW license, my carry conceal license, right? And when you're going through the class, man, this is crazy because this is why the police are like they are. When you're going through the class, they tell you and they train you, when you have a gun, if somebody threatens your life and they have a knife, you have the probable cause to shoot them. And they don't say shoot them in the leg. They don't say shoot them in the arm. They train you in CCW the classes to take them out, man.
Wow.
So this is for
crazy, bro.
us. They literally train you. If somebody comes to a fight, a gunfight with a knife, you can literally, man, you're shooting to hurt them. You're not shooting to wound them. And so if we're getting trained like that as citizens, how are the police being trained?
Yeah.
We're being trained like that to go to conceal and carry this weapon. So how are the police being trained? And that's why you see a lot of senseless killings. Because I know y'all like me. I'd be like, man, he could have shot that dude in the leg. He could have shot that dude in the arm.
Something is going down.
Why he put 10 in him?
Man.
But they're, like you said, Pat, they're actually trained to do that. And it's sad and it's senseless, but that's how they're being trained. You know, and again, I know sometimes it's gonna take that because we got dudes out here carrying automatic rifles and all that. But like you said, Pastor Roman D, you brought up a good point. It seems like these Caucasians and other people come out of gunfights alive, and we got a hoodie on and we come out dead.
And I see somebody running naked, and they got alive. That was crazy, man.
Yeah. So I think it is something we got to continue talking about. I think we got to make sure we're training our kids at an early age to make sure they're doing what's right. And again, we know we know we're prayer warriors. We know we disperse the angels over our kids and our lives, but we still got to teach them the practical things to do all they can do to make it home.
I like that, man.
And you know what, bro? That was great about the training. But here's my issue, not with the training, but with the comparison to police officers. When the training, they say if they got a knife, so no matter if they're black, no matter if they're white, no matter if they're Latino, no matter if they're Asian, they're teaching you to do this. What is the training going in police officers that if you black, you shoot, but if you're Caucasian, let's talk this out.
That's true, bro.
Because we've even seen videos of white young men walking down the street with a heavy artillery gun, and police officers ain't even worried.
And it's you're right. Oh my goodness,
ain't even worried.
True, bro.
But then you got a black man in a hoodie, and all heaven has broken loose, and now you feel like you got to pull it, because here's the question we need answered. Man, where does an officer get from the point that to say, I need to pull this? Because we know that they're trained when I pull this to shoot and kill. But what makes you get from that point to grab your gun and pull it out.
Yeah.
Because that's where the issue is. The issue is from not necessarily when they pull it out, because they're supposed to pull it out to shoot. Okay, if they're trained, that's what they're trained about. But what makes them less likely to go and grab that gun based upon, you know, your color and things of that nature? So that's the issue that people are asked and throwing out. Hey, the class is teaching you, hey, if you gotta shoot, you don't shoot the wound, you shoot the kill. That don't matter what color they are.
That's true, bro.
These police officers are deciding to pull that gun out, and it's not based on their danger level. It's based upon how they feel about whatever's before them.
That's it.
That's
Because
good, bro.
if you can be black with a hoodie and I feel you're dangerous and I pull out that gun, but if you're white with an automatic gun and I walk to you and talk to you, something is wrong from that angle.
That's true, bro.
We need answers about. We can hear about the training and all that wonderful stuff, but what happens to make them make that decision to grab that gun?
That's true, bro. That's good.
Listen, this is what it is, man. This is what it is right here. We got too much swag, man. Jesus gave us too much swag, man. Hey, he gave us too much swag. No, but I think you know, honestly though, I think that's something. I think it is, man. I think because of I think the world and movies, and it just put us in a box. Like, we're all drug dealers. We all are fatherless. We all don't have, you know, the correct upbringing. We were brought up in the hood, and you know what I'm saying? It's I think that's a big thing too, because, you know, like, even me, like, if I see like you know, a Muslim, you know, first thing come to mind is their religion, you know. Or if I see you know what I'm saying, somebody that has a nun thing on, you know, you automatically box people in based on what society shows us about them rather than getting to know them as a person. I think that's one big thing, because, you know, like, our society is growing weaker and dimmer by the minute, you know, social media. I mean, you think about, you name it, man. Like, and so I think that's another thing. Now, I'm not saying that's the only thing, but I know that that's a root that is in the ground that's being fed and nourished with this social media stuff, man. And you know, movies and all of that crazy stuff. You cannot find. I was watching an interview today, scrolling through YouTube, and I seen a Tupac post, and he said he just finished up doing the movie Juice, not Juice, but Above the Rim. He said he wanted to play a character, not a mean guy, but he wanted to play another character that has some substance to him, you know. And I think that ultimately our world has just, you know, put us in a box. You know, even Christians, we're in a box. You know what I'm saying? It's no matter what you do, you're in a box. And I think when police officers stop black man, you know, that stereotype, that movie black guy or whatever, ultimately is the image that we see. I think that we have to change our image of us, of black man, you know, in our society. I really believe that will help a whole lot. Prayer does, but Will, you said something on this podcast we did last year. You know, hope is a great thing, but action is where things change. And so I think, we gotta, you know, put something about black man out there that's not like that, so we can see. But we'll see y'all next week, y'all. Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff. Walking by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Yeah, I see y'all.
Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
And the truth of the
We
matter
walking
is,
by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Isaiah trying to have us on here all night.
We can't glaze over that though. Oh my goodness.